It's so cold out right now, but you'll never believe what's happening. Nope, not even my close friends will believe, but there's something going on outside. Over 2 years since we've seen this thing making its way onto the channel. I can't believe it's been that long. I'm gonna have to go back and check the videos, but I'm excited. Got some parts to put on this thing. What is it? Oh, Sasquatch. Oh, no, it's the RZR. She's finally coming into the shop to get the steering rack done. For the past 2 years, this poor thing has been down, been neglected. We did house remodel and a bunch of other stuff, so kind of forgot about it. Well, didn't really forget about it, but just didn't give it any time. So about a year ago, we were gonna go riding, and I went to put the paddles on to run to the dunes, and I found out that it was doing this. This is why I haven't been riding it. Here's the tie rod. Can't really see it as well, but I didn't know that the boot was cut in there, and what it did was allowed sand and water and dirt and stuff to get into the steering rack. It hosed the bushings. So we're gonna take it apart, see what we can find out. In the meantime, I'll show you what I got to replace it. What we have here is the Super ATV Rack. I know that if you guys have watched my videos in the past, you'll know that I'm a huge supporter of shock therapy. I have their revalve, spring kit, and pretty much everything on my RZR. But what I couldn't afford this time was their $1,000 billet rack. I wanted to do that, but that just wasn't gonna happen. So we went with the Rack Boss. I've read decent reviews on it. It's probably stronger than the factory one. So we went with this kit. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Okay, not as nice of a piece as the shock therapy one, but that's what it is. Hopefully it's gonna be a lot better than the factory one. Got some other parts in here. You had to get it with tie rods, and I already have other ones, so I just got their cheapest ones. Anyway, let's get this sucker in there. Definitely not doing a walkthrough here, but got the tires off. And if you've seen my video before, I have the shock therapy bump steer delete kit, which you run a amount of spacers here to get rid of the bump steer, moving the tie rod end up and down. So we'll pop that off, and then we can get in there and get the steering rack bolts. By the way, that was not easy. It was not a it was not a one-person job. I was struggling. One of my buddies called, Corey, he got off work early. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, struggling." "All right, be right there." Thanks, Corey, for your help. That made it much better. We pulled the drive line off, scooted the front diff a little bit forward. Otherwise, it's just miserable to get the steering rack out. So I figured I better give you that little update. Well, just like that, it's done. Got the steering rack up in there. You can kind of see it. Got the new ends out here. Got my alignment done with the help of the high lifter alignment plates, which make it really nice. Come with a couple of tape measures so you can set your alignment. The main thing you want to do is make sure that your steering rack is centered up right in the middle. It has marks on it from Super ATV. I always strap my steering wheel right in the center so nothing moves, and then I make sure on my steering rack on the centering lines that nothing moves. And then I set my tie rods, get my alignment done, and I also go up to like a point on the inner part of the A-arm there out to here. Measure, make sure both sides are the same. That way, in theory, you put the tires on, drive down the road, and it should be straight. So think we'll call that good for the steering rack here. Got to put the tires on. My Super ATV long travel kit gets rid of the sway bar, so I'm gonna look at fabricating some mounts and get my sway bar back on. So I will either go for a rip now, or I will work on the sway bar and we'll go for a rip in a little bit. Can't wait. It has been so long. It's exciting to have it done. We'll catch up with you in a minute. Okay, for those of you that do not have a Hess steering reducer, I have the 2-to-1, and I gotta say, well, especially for me, because I drive with my hand controls and then I just use one hand on the other, or on the steering wheel. It makes it way easier for me to drive. There's no way I could palm it running through the trails as fast as we do. Anyway, check this out, okay? We got tires centered up right here. That right there is full lock. It's so awesome. So it's just boom right there. So when you see me out driving, I'm only going like that, you know, that's almost about half of the way to lock. So super impressed by the Hess unit. I've put them in a couple of rigs and they are awesome. Again, here's going the other way to the right. Full lock right there. Not even 180 degrees. So awesome. I can't believe it's really happening after 2 years, over 2 years of not being in this thing. Almost forget how to get strapped in, but we are ready to take the maiden voyage rip after such a long time. And I'm pretty excited to get it out in the field, get it warmed up, burn up some of this old gas so I probably won't crash too hard. Want to be careful. It's non-ethanol in here, but still, it's been in here for a long time. So let's get this thing out. So far, so good. After doing the alignment, I think I got my steering wheel nailed straight right off the bat. Pretty happy about that. Wheelchair in here. It's a little sketchy because if I broke a belt or rolled it, I'd have nobody here to help me out. So definitely got to be a little careful. logging has started. Well, that was a success. I made it back. No injuries, no broken parts, didn't run out of gas. RZR is happy and well and running good, so I'll check the data logs. And yeah, hopefully we'll get out here and rip some more. Thank you guys for watching. I cannot believe the poor RZR. You know, I don't think, it's not even that muddy, but I would call it muddy because I don't think I've ever had it this muddy. With us being in the sand dunes all the time, I never ride mine in the field, but it's fun. So I plan on getting her a little bit more muddy. Later, guys.